To keep things simple, let's divide the facial muscles into two main functional groups. On the left, we have the muscles of facial expression. These derive from the second pharyngeal arch, are innervated by cranial nerve 7, the facial nerve, and insert into the skin to convey emotion. On the right, we have the muscles of mastication. These derive from the first pharyngeal arch, are innervated by cranial nerve V3, the mandibular branch of the trigeminal nerve, and insert directly into bone to grind food. Starting with the upper face, we have three key muscles. First is the occipitofrontalis, consisting of a frontal belly that wrinkles the forehead and an occipital belly, both connected by the epicranial aponeurosis. Next is the orbicularis oculi, the sphincter of the eye. Its outer orbital part forcefully closes the eye, while the inner palpebral part controls gentle blinking. Finally, the corrugator supercilii lies deep to the eyebrows, drawing them down and medially to create a frown. Moving to the nose and ear. For the nose, remember the nasalis muscle. Its transverse part compresses the nostrils, while its alar part dilates them. Think of the mnemonic DACT. Dilation equals alar, compression equals transverse. Just above it, the procerus wrinkles the bridge of the nose. For the ear, we have the auricular muscles, anterior, superior, and posterior. These are evolutionary remnants that insert into the root of the auricle. The lower face is anchored by the oral sphincter, the orbicularis oris, which purses the lips for whistling or kissing. Surrounding it are the elevators that help us smile, the zygomaticus major and minor, levator anguli oris, and risorius. Opposing them are the depressors that create a frown, which include the depressor anguli oris, depressor labii inferioris, and the mentalis, which pouts the chin. Now for two highly unique muscles. The Buccinator, or trumpeter muscle, tenses the cheeks to keep food between your teeth during chewing. Note that it is innervated by cranial nerve 7 for expression, but functionally assists in chewing. Below it is the platysma, a massive, thin sheet in the superficial neck fascia. It tenses the skin of the neck, activated when you shave, and helps pull the corners of the mouth down. Let's consolidate this with the expression matrix, a classic exam favorite. Surprise is shown by transverse forehead wrinkles, driven by the frontalis. Anger dilates the nostrils and furrows the brow via the corrugator and dilator naris. Laughing draws the mouth corners up and out using the zygomaticus major. Sadness pulls them down via the depressor anguli oris, and doubt puckers the chin using the mentalis. Let's transition to the muscles of mastication. To easily memorize all four, remember this phrase: Mom makes tasty lasagna. This stands for masseter, medial pterygoid, temporalis, and lateral pterygoid. The golden biomechanical rule here is that all four of these muscles insert onto the mandible to grind food at the temporomandibular joint, or TMJ. Looking at the superficial chewing muscles, we have the temporalis, which originates in the temporal fossa, inserts into the coronoid process, and elevates and retracts the jaw. Remember, the coroner goes to the core. Below it is the masseter, originating from the zygomatic arch and inserting onto the ramus of the mandible. It is your primary and most powerful biting muscle. If you clench your teeth, you can feel both of these bulge. For the deep chewing muscles, we look at the pterygoids. Here is a golden rule. Both originate on the lateral pterygoid plate, so you can ignore the medial plate entirely. The medial pterygoid inserts onto the inner angle of the mandible to elevate it. The lateral pterygoid inserts into the TMJ capsule and condyle. Crucially, it is the only muscle of mastication that depresses the mandible to open the mouth. Just remember, lateral lowers. Let's review the plumbing and wiring. All four mastication muscles are innervated by the anterior trunk of the mandibular nerve, CN V3. Their blood supply comes from the external carotid artery, branching into the maxillary and facial arteries. While the lateral pterygoid initiates opening, the suprahyoid and infrahyoid muscles act as accessories, stabilizing the hyoid bone to pull the jaw wide open against gravity. We wrap up with clinical application. In an OSCE exam, you must test the 5 motor branches of the facial nerve. Have your patient look up to test the frontalis. Tell them to close their eyes tightly against resistance to test the orbicularis oculi. Ask for a wide smile to check the zygomaticus major, puff out their cheeks to test the Buccinator, and finally, have them whistle or purse their lips to test the orbicularis oris. And that is a wrap on our Facial Anatomy Atlas. If this video made these complex pathways easier to understand, please like, share, and subscribe to CleanMedKE to support the channel. Let us know in the comments below which medical topic you want us to simplify next. Thank you for watching and keep studying smart.